Listen, this is not a coincidence that you are here right now. You didn't just stumble upon this message. There is a reason your spirit paused, a reason your heart feels slightly unsettled, a reason something deep inside you is whispering, "Pay attention." Because this is urgent. Time is running out. And God is calling you, not tomorrow, not someday, He is calling you now. My child, the Spirit says, why do you delay when I have been knocking at the door of your heart? Why do you turn away when I am reaching for you with mercy? There is something concerning your son, something that heaven has been watching closely. You may have sensed it already. A shift, a distance, a quiet battle he is fighting that he has not fully spoken about. God says, I see him when no one else sees him. I hear the cries he hides. I know the confusion in his mind and the weight on his heart. Even when he smiles, even when he says he is fine, God knows the truth. Psalm 139 verses 1-3 says, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down, and when I rise up, you discern my thoughts from afar. God knows your son's thoughts, and he is not indifferent. But here is the warning. Time is running out, not because God is late, but because the window of intervention is narrowing. The enemy has been working quietly, planting seeds of doubt, distraction, and destruction. John 10 verse 10 says, The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly. Do you see it now? This is not just a phase. This is not something to ignore. This is spiritual warfare. And God is calling you to rise. My child, he says, I have appointed you as a watchman over your house. Ezekiel 3 verse 17 says, Son of man, I have made you a watchman, so hear the word I speak, and give them warning from me. This is your moment to act, not in fear, but in faith, not in panic, but in authority, because God has already equipped you. There is power in your voice when you pray over your son. There is authority in your words when you speak life into his future. Proverbs 18 verse 21 says, Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So why have you been silent? Why have you hesitated? God says, open your mouth. Speak over him. Call him back to me. Because your son is not lost. He is being called. But he is standing at a crossroads, and the direction he takes will shape everything that comes next. God is saying, intercede now. Pray like it matters, because it does. Cry out like heaven is listening, because it is. James 5 verse 16 says, The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Your prayers are not weak. They are not empty. They are not ignored. Every prayer you whisper, every tear you shed, every moment you lift his name before God. Heaven is moving, but you must not stop. There are things happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. Battles being fought in the spiritual realm. Chains being weakened. Strongholds beginning to crack. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4 says, For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to destroy strongholds. God is already working, but he is inviting you to partner with him. This is not just about your son. This is about destiny, because your son carries something the enemy fears. A calling, a purpose, a future that has the potential to bring light into darkness. And that is why the attack has been so intense. God says, What I have placed inside him is precious, and I will not allow it to be stolen, but you must stand in the gap. Do not underestimate your role. Do not think someone else will do it. You were chosen for this. Isaiah 59 verse 16 says, He saw that there was no one. He was appalled that there was no one to intervene. But you are here. And now you know. So what will you do? Will you continue as before, hoping things change on their own? Or will you rise into the authority God has given you? Because the time for passive faith is over. This is the moment for bold, intentional, relentless faith. God says, "Speak my word over your son." Declare protection. Declare clarity. Declare purpose. Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Say it over him. Believe it. Stand on it. Even if you don't see immediate change. Even if he resists. Even if things look worse before they look better. Do not give up. Galatians 6 verse 9 reminds you, "Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap, if we do not give up." Your breakthrough is tied to your persistence, and your son's turning point is closer than you think. God is already moving in his heart, softening what has been hardened, illuminating what has been dark, drawing him back step by step. But he needs your covering. He needs your prayers. He needs your obedience. God says, "I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for surrender." Lay your fears before him. Lay your doubts before him. Trust that he is greater than anything your son is facing. Jeremiah 32 verse 27 says, "Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me?" Nothing is too hard for God. Not addiction, not confusion, not rebellion, not distance. Nothing. But you must trust him fully and act accordingly. This is your wake-up call. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. Because God's love always warns before it restores, and his mercy always calls before it corrects. Your son is not beyond saving. He is not too far gone. He is not forgotten. God says, "I know his name. I know his path, and I am calling him back to me." But time is running out for hesitation. This is the moment to pray, to speak, to stand, to believe. And as you do, watch what God will do. Watch how he intervenes. Watch how he turns things around in ways you never imagined. Because when God steps in, everything changes. So don't ignore this message. Don't brush it aside. Take it into your spirit. Act on it. And trust that God is already making a way.